Welcome. Welcome to the live. Welcome in. We are going ahead with an all signs reading. Now, this reading is going to be more so focused on whatever comes up. So, whatever kind of message you require to hear, I'm just going to fix my light 1 second. There we go. Whatever kind of message you require to hear, that is what will pop through the most, right? The strongest energy usually is the loudest, right? So let's go ahead here. Let's get started. Let's actually see what's going on for you guys. And we'll get going. There we are. Okay, so today I'm going to be using the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, which is up there, but it's right here. Okay, so each and every sign is going to get its lovely card and also a clarifier. So we're going to see what is going on for you in general. I will also take out, sorry, the Cosmic Energy Oracle cards to just, kind of maybe give some guidance in terms of what's best to focus on during this time for each and every one of you. We will start with Aries. We will go all the way to Pisces. So let's go ahead here. Let's get started with Aries. So what's the message for Aries? What's going on for Aries? What's coming up for Aries? What's going on here? There we go. We have the Nine of Wands, which is very interesting. Actually, I'll show you guys the cards, of course, one by one. There we go. The Nine of Wands. So, Aries, you could be feeling a little bit drained, a little bit tired, whatever the case is here. You could be dealing with a certain situation that is giving you some maybe sleepless nights. That is possible as well. You could be actually overthinking a situation as well here, or you might be feeling like people are bringing you into their own problems, and maybe sometimes they depend on you to actually figure it out for them. But I think mostly what's really required here for you, Aries, is to start taking care of yourself a little bit, not from a selfish place. You don't have to tell these people off or anything, but maybe limit your time spent with these individuals, something like that, okay? Because it seems like you are in a presence of, I want to say, energy sucking, right? Like siphoning energy from you. Be careful not to get yourself into any trouble in the coming weeks. I would probably say 2 to 3 weeks or so. Be careful not to get yourself into any kind of trouble. Try your best to maybe distance yourself away from individuals who are just problematic in general here. Let's see the clarifier about this Nine of Wands. Well, we've got the Seven of Cups here acting like a challenge. So, yeah, it is something about you making sure that you're keeping yourself afloat in this volcanic time, apparently, is the way that I had to say it. Okay. So just be a little bit mindful of your own energy, how you can, like, how you preserve it, things of that nature. And don't get too lost in the sauce of other people's details. Okay. Something like that, Aries. So let's take a look here. What's best for you from the cosmic energy, what to keep in mind for yourself. Let's see what the best energy for you is, or the best piece of advice, whatever the case. Let's take a look here. There we go. Best thing to keep in mind while you are trying to tread through some muddy waters. Oh, that's interesting. What's the best thing to keep in mind here for Aries is determination. Okay, face challenges with determination. You can achieve anything. Yeah, you may also be in the mood, or rather in the mood, I would say probably in the environment, in the surroundings of feeling a little bit worn down. That is possible here, Aries, and it may be that you require to just boost yourself, boost your own sense of self. Self-esteem is going to be very important in this time for you for some reason, but make sure that you're not getting into any kind of trouble for yourself, okay? All right. Taurus is next, so let's see what Taurus's message is. What's going on for Taurus? Taurus, we have the Eight of Cups. So you may be feeling like somebody is leaving your life emotionally, potentially, or you are just the one who is actually distancing yourself from individuals, or rather maybe cutting them off entirely, whatever the case is. You might feel a little bit of a disconnect, though. I don't think, for some of you, I don't think it's a permanent kind of disconnect, but I think it is a little bit of a distanced type of dynamic that you have with someone here, Taurus. It seems like, maybe whatever you do, it's not good enough or something of that nature. Or maybe another person feels that way with you or around you. So you may require to, keep a little bit of an eye on that. It does have a little bit of discouragement, though. I don't know why here, Taurus. You might feel a little discouraged about something. Um, but we'll see what's going on. Just give me a moment here. Let's clarify that card. It does feel a little bit like emotional discouragement. We do have the world. So a cycle does end here. So a new cycle can begin. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, Leo, Taurus like yourself, or Aquarius. That is possible. However, it feels like actually somebody could be leaving your life, but it's not in the sense of they are, leaving, if you know what I mean, if you catch my drift. They might be actually relocating entirely. And this way, you won't be seeing them as often anymore, or you'll find out that somebody is making plans to leave their current location. And at that point, you guys might feel like there's like a whole ocean and mountains apart amongst you both, kind of thing. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be platonic. You could just find out that one of your friends is permanently leaving somewhere else. They're going to a different, end of the world, something like that, different location completely. That is a potential. You could also be planning that for yourself, Taurus, where you are just up and going. You are basically closing up cycles, specific ones. You could be closing up a relationship with someone, closing up a friendship with someone, whatever the case is here, or simply that you will find out that somebody's relocating, or you are, right? You're relocating somewhere else here, Taurus. But let's see, during this time, what is best to keep in mind for yourself here? So we do have trust. So trust your intuition. The universe guides you. Yeah, I think maybe you've known this for a little bit. Maybe, maybe it's something along the lines of a person dropping hints, and they're no longer really hints. They are more of constant or consistent comments, and when you get that, it's almost like it's not just a passing saying of what this person is saying to you. It's more like now you're starting to kind of realize, oh, maybe what they're saying is not just it's not just a passing thought. It's an actual thing that they want to do. So that is a potential here as well. I don't think there's going to be too much of loss of trust here, although you may have that as well. Taurus, you might lose some trust in a specific situation. That is true too. For some of you, lady and gentleman Taurus, you may just come to a realization of who a person truly is, and the trust will be gone. And at that point, you'll be able to close the cycle and you will be able to move on with your life. It's something like that too. Okay. So whatever that is for you, Taurus, whatever situation that is for you, it just says, trust the process, basically, trust yourself, and trust the path that you're going on to or moving on to, and just give good blessings to the person too, right? Give them good blessings, and that's it. That's all. But there is something you may also be leaving for yourself, meaning that maybe you have a type of habit and you've wanted to get rid of it for a long time, and this is the time to do so, right? All right, Gemini, let's take a look for you. Right there, King of Swords. You are here. You are present. You're definitely present here, Gemini. So let's take a look at what that's all about, because that seems to be a little bit more on the logical side, a little bit more on the, I would say, colder side for some reason. I don't know why, Gemini. It feels like you are at this point where you're no longer going to be taking some poo poo from people. So that is a potential here. where Gemini, you may actually be dealing with a certain situation in a very cutthroat manner, or a very matter of fact kind of way, or just presenting some evidence here in some way, shape, or form. Gemini, you also may be a lawyer. That is possible. You might be dealing with some authorities or something like that. And or like a policeman or something, policewoman, you know. Um, that could be you as well here. You are more of an individual that is I would say bound by logic, or rather, there are some things that you would prefer to make sense to you. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then you're just ready to pick up that sword, because this King of Swords actually has their sword up and ready, kind of thing. So here, Gemini, whenever something doesn't really make sense to you, you're going to dissect it, and then you're going to make your decision whether or not you're going to accept it. Okay. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see what's going on here for you as a clarifier. What's the clarifying card for this, for the King of Swords for Gemini? Oh, quite a bit. Three of Cups is one, and then a boo-boo of Three of Pentacles. Gemini, you might come to a kind of realization that you are put in a third position of some kind. You might be treated like a third wheel. And you're not about that, apparently, here. You're not about that. The reason for this is because the Three of Pentacles is on the side acting like a challenge. Whenever a card for me is on the horizontal, it basically signifies that a person doesn't want to, but maybe they have to. Like, it feels like you, Gemini, you might be in a dynamic where you feel bound to it by obligation rather than actually wanting to be in it. There is a sense of a sense of mm, duty before feelings, duty before what feels right, something like this. You may be in a place where you're not really comfortable, but you have to perform, or you have to do your part because it's expected. It could be something like that, Gemini. Okay. Now, this could be in anything. It can be in family traditions. It can be in, status quo with your friends. It could be with a job that you particularly don't really enjoy, but it pays the bills. It could be in a place where you have a relationship, a long standing relationship, but the feelings are not even there anymore, and you're just there because it's comfortable. There could be a lot of different scenarios here for you, Gemini. And the actual thing to keep in mind is to make sure that it's correct with you, it's happy with you, because here, the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles, it's giving me a contradictory kind of message. It's like, yeah, I'm in here, but I'm not really liking that I'm in here, which is very strange. So let me see what's best, what the best type of advice for you here is, Gemini. The best type of advice is: love is everywhere. Open your heart to feel it. Yeah, it seems like there could be a little bit of a lacking of it. A lacking of it. You could be in a place where you're not really all that passionate where you currently are, and you could be feeling that you want to be somewhere else. Your mind is starting to really contemplate or think about other places that you could be, that you would rather enjoy. That is a potential here, Gemini. Your mind is wandering on you. It is presenting you other other venues, other options, other ideas and thoughts. So you're going to have to really, sit down with yourself and truthfully, really, like, for real, truthfully ask yourself, are you doing something out of obligation, or do you really want to be there? Okay. You really got to have a truthful moment with yourself here. Very, very much, Gemini, very much. Okay. So that'll be for you to figure out. Okay, Cancer, let's take a look here. What's happening for you? Cancer, we have the Queen of Swords here. Whoa, a King and Queen of Swords, one after another. How interesting. Cancer, it seems like you are going to be using your psychic powers. Okay, psychic powers. In this case, a lot of things will not be going without your knowing. Basically, not much is going to be going on behind your back, is what's going on here, Cancer. You are going to be a lot more. I heard the word virtuous. That's very interesting. But you're going to be a lot more fair with your surroundings. You will be willing. You'll be willing to hear something out. But if it's something that you don't really make sense with, or like almost like you can intuitively tell that a person is lying to you, it's off with their heads. So, Cancer, it seems like you're going to be taking on more of a authoritative disposition or position for yourself here, and you're going to want the truth and nothing but the truth. And it's okay because it's not going to break you, but you're just going to assess a situation for what it truly is. And if you truly can tell that an individual is not being completely open, transparent, and honest with you, then in come these bodyguards. Actually, in come these bodyguards, because this Queen of Swords actually has bodyguards around her here in the form of these dogs. So you will actually be choosing to keep more reliable individuals, more loyal individuals near you, and you will go ahead and put up that sword to people who are not presenting themselves as trustworthy. That's what you're going to do here, Cancer. You're going to start to really check into who's really in your corner and who's not. And those people that are not, then you're not going to be wasting any more time with them, that kind of thing. Let's take a look here in terms of clarification. So, what's the best clarification for this Queen of Swords? We've got the Hangman. Yeah, you're going to put some things on hold, actually. You're going to put some things on hold until you get the truth. There we go. That's exactly what I was going to talk about. It seems like, Cancer, here you're not really privy to making quick choices or quick decisions here. For the next couple of weeks, I believe you, Cancer, will be more on the side of logical thinking, logical processing. If something makes sense, great. If it doesn't, then off it goes, basically. But you will take some time to yourself to contemplate different options, different thoughts. You could be a little bit on the side of the transition between Gemini and Cancer, so that could be affecting you as well there. But it is more of a period for you, where you will take pretty much every pathway, every venue into consideration, and you will choose the one that you have most clarity about. Plus, you will choose the one that feels most safest. So it seems like, and it's not in a comfort zone way. It's not like a comfort zone safety. It's more about who you can trust. That's what it's going to be more so for you here, Cancer. So let's take a look. What's best to keep in mind during this time for you while you're contemplating, details? Balance. Find balance to maintain harmony in relationships. Yes. So you will be more of the type of individual. I don't know if you'll be balanced. I don't know if you'll be neutral, though. You may choose actually to distance yourself away from people who are not they're not secure. Okay, they're not secure for you, Cancer, and you may feel that right away. uh After maybe you questioned someone, right, and then you felt that they were kind of stalling, or they were wasting your time, or they were not very enthusiastic to give you the truth about something. And maybe you already knew it. You were just waiting for this person to kind of fess up, and they didn't. And for you, Cancer, it seems like, it's not that you'll be testing people. That's not what it is. But it's that you'll be able to see right away when somebody is not being straightforward with you, not being genuine with you. And at that point, yeah, like I mentioned, it'll be off with their heads, basically. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. We've got Leo next. So, Leo, what's going on for you? Leo, there it is. Knight of Pentacles. Leo, you might feel like some things are being stagnated. You might feel like, things are crumbling all around you and things are not picking up pace enough. You might feel like, it's just too slow. It's just too slow. But this sense of patience and slow progress is very, very important for you, Leo. It's important for you not to make the wrong choices overall in life, in relationships, in at work, business partnerships, things of that nature. It seems like here, Leo, it is very, very beneficial to you to take your time with making a certain move or a certain decision. Okay. Taking action on something, you may require to actually look at it twice before you take action on something here, Leo. Okay. And if it's not you, then you may actually require to take things a little slowly with other individuals or your environment or your surroundings, just to make sure that you're not putting all your eggs in a very I'm looking like what am I looking at? I'm looking at a basket that's like falling apart. It's like a basket that's falling apart. It's not really sturdy. It's not yeah, it doesn't really have a good foundation here. This basket is not very good. So instead of putting your eggs all in there where they're going to fall through the different cracks and whatever, it's very beneficial here for you, Leo, in order to take a little bit of time to contemplate something. So let's see in the clarifier what that Knight of Coins is actually trying to say, what they're trying to talk about. They are talking about you. They're talking about potential. Oh, it's like overnight fame or the expectation of being grandiose in society or amongst your friends or whatever. Um it's almost like you might feel like you don't have the correct spotlight on you, or not really the correct spotlight, but more like it's not on you as much as it used to be or something like that. You could also be actually, Leo, here, you could also be choosing to boost yourself in this time. You could be choosing to reestablish your own confidence levels in this time. And that's not something that can be quickened. That's not something that you should have, impatience with. Being impatient with yourself and your good standings and your status quo and your titles and all that, it's not a good thing for you overall here, because it'll also give you this time pressure which you don't need. So Leo, there are many different factors here. You will get back on your horse. I do want to say that. Okay, so keep that in mind. You will get back on your horse here, Leo, but you do require to allow the time to do its proper job. You require to allow the energies to align properly, so then it's not a mistake. It's something like that. Okay. So if you feel that somebody is taking time with you or you're taking time with them, there's nothing wrong with that. There really is. And there's really nothing wrong with that. It's more so for you to kind of get to know the person, or for the person to get to know you, and that way you guys can build something that has a solid foundation. Because the Knight of Pentacles, yes, they are a slow moving knight, but they are a very consistent one. They are a very, like, they're the type of knight that you can depend on. So instead of running in there, rushing into something, something that you can't depend on, look at the ones, or look at the options that are a little bit of a slow burner type, which will then bring you that solid foundation that you're really looking for. It's something like that. Let's see what's best to keep in mind during that time, or during this time for you here, Leo. Let's take a look. Allow things to take their time. Yes, please. So we do have light. So light dispels darkness. Keep your inner light shining. And we also have prosperity comes from hard work and a love for life. Yeah. So here's the thing, Leo. I understand that you may want to be in the spotlight. You may want to be the apple of everybody's eye. No problem. No problem. Okay. Everybody, to a degree, wants that kind of wish fulfillment, and that's not a problem. The only thing that you need to realize is that it takes time. It takes time. It's not a, snap of the fingers kind of change, and it's not a overnight type of change. Leo, you may require to just also work on your own self while you are waiting for people to recognize you like before. Okay. So that's not a problem. That's not a problem. This slowness is given to you for a reason. It's to make sure that the next time you go out into public spaces, public areas, into the space of other people, you are standing strong with a genuine heart. That's what it's asking you to do here. Okay? So don't be disappointed that things are not going as quickly as you would like them to. Don't be disappointed with that, Leo. That's not really anything against you. You're not meant to feel like time is against you or anything like that. It just means that for something solid, we need to be patient. That's what it actually means. Okay, Leo? All right. Virgo's next. Let's take a look what's going on for Virgo. Let's take a look here. Virgo, what's happening for you? Virgo, please and thank you. What is your message? What is the message for Virgo? Please and thank you. What's the message for Virgo? I see it. Virgo, the Five of Cups. You may have a little bit of a disappointment. You may feel disappointed a little bit. You may feel like something did not follow through. You could have some disappointments with your partner that they're not upkeeping to the plan of whatever kind of plan you guys figured out between each other. You could be a little bit disappointed in that. Um, there is a little bit of regret here, maybe some sadness here, maybe some, ooh, that's different. Who's jaded? It feels like there's a little bit of a jaded energy here as well. It's not in the open, but it is evident behind closed doors when you are alone by yourself here, Virgo. So this may be a little bit important to take a look at, assess, and really, really kind of clear out for you. Okay, clear out these emotions for yourself here, Virgo. Give me a second though. Let me see what this is trying to talk about in terms of the clarifying. Clarifying it is actually no, oh, the 10 of Wands. That's what it is. Virgo, you are unhappy with the way things are going in your life. That's what's going on here. You are also unhappy with a certain type of burden. I think it is a type of burden that is underneath like the surface. It's not very like it's not seen by the public, but it's definitely felt. You know, where the public can't really see you, right? You might have some disappointments in your life. I mean, who doesn't? Okay, I get it. Who doesn't? But this one here specifically is tied to a certain situation that didn't go your way. This disappointment is different. It's not just that overall, oh, my life is crap. It's not going well. I'm depressed. No, this is a specific expectation that did not come to fruition for you, and you are highly disappointed with that. That is the source of the issue, actually. And all from there, it's been just like one disappointment after another, or rather, maybe that's the way that you look at life at this point because of that one thing that didn't turn up rosy for you. Okay. You will require to look at that specific event and completely release it because that one could be one or two actually. Those events that were very, very problematic for you have imprinted themselves, encoded themselves in your mindset. And this is something that you require to look at and really, really clean it out. And I don't mean, pack it up and throw it out the window in your mind, right? Like visually. I mean in the sense of look at it, really assess it, make peace with it if you can, and then be able to release it. Be able to be like, you know what? I'm not this person from the past, or I'm not going to allow more people like that from the past. I'm going to make sure to stand my ground the next time I see some problems. Whatever the case is here, Virgo, you will require to kind of just acknowledge that, yeah, it was not a happy time. It was very disappointing for you as an individual. However, you have grown from it. You are allowed to venture off towards a new place now. It's something like that. If this is a current situation, an ongoing situation where you are in a place of being encumbered by people who do all sorts of wrongs, they know the right thing to do, but they do a lot of wrongs instead, then you are allowed to say something. Virgo, you're allowed to say something. You're allowed to present this concern to these individuals, whoever they are. Could be a lover, could be a friend, could be a coworker, could be a family member, whoever this is. You are allowed to let this person know, hey, listen, I think there are some things we need to discuss because it's not a good thing. It's not a good venture for anyone involved. And you may require to, kind of talk about it, but not from a place of, oh, I'm criticizing you of your life choices and all that. Not that way, but more in a way where you are trying to come in and be like, listen, I've been down this road before. If you do this, this is where you will end up. And I'm telling you this out of my own personal, genuine experience. That could be something that you could open up with, to let this person know that there is an incoming mistake. And if you don't want to see that person be burdened, then you can explain it to them. You can explain it to them in, a nice, reserved, classy fashion. Now, if it's you and you might be holding on to something that was burdensome and very disappointing, you will require to sit with it, and you will require to actually give it the space that it wants, meaning that feel it, feel through it, cry through it if you need to, and then be able to, release it completely here. Okay. What's the best thing to keep in mind for yourself, Virgo, during this time? Let's take a look. Support. Yeah, exactly. Seek support. You don't have to be, seek support. You don't have to bear everything alone. Exactly. So if you are a support system for someone, that's great, but please explain to them how some options or some choices do not lead to a good outcome. Otherwise, if it's you and you're kind of swimming in some, disappointment and headaches, whatever the case is here, then try to find individuals who understand your plight. They understand where you're coming from, and they can offer some good emotional support or even physical support. Just don't be afraid don't be afraid to ask, right, Virgo? Don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay. Next up is Libra. So let's take a look here. What's wanting to pop out for Libra? What does Libra require to keep in mind as a message? Okay. Libra, we've got the Queen of Wands. You might be dealing with a fire sign. That is possible. Okay, that's the first thing I got. However, it seems like there is this tendency to want to be the be all end all of, the time since sliced bread kind of thing. All that in a bag of chips kind of thing. Libra, that's not a problem. It's not an issue to want to be the queen or king of your own castle. The only thing that requires to be reminded is that it's your castle. It's not anybody else's castle. So just be aware of that. Don't allow your tendencies to control others come out into the open, because that's not a very healthy thing. Otherwise, it's somebody trying to do that to you. You might feel a little bit ruffled feathers about it, but try your best to communicate in a more, understanding and uh, stoic fashion to this individual. That's right? If they are trying to tap dance on your back, or if they are trying to step on your toes, then Libra, you can bring out this Queen of Wands and let these people know, hey, listen, Yes, I am a people pleaser. That's not a problem. Okay, Libra, but to only a certain extent. That's what you may require to tell these individuals, Libra. In the moment, though, you seem to be okay. You seem to be basking basking in attention, in the glory of people's watchful eyes, whatever. But please be aware, Libra, that sometimes too much attention is not a good, healthy thing. Okay. Sometimes too much attention can also come with expectations of you in return. And in the long run, you might burn yourself out by trying to grant everybody else's wishes but your own. Okay, Libra. So please put a proper boundary in that area. Okay, in the area of you being, let's say you're famous, right? Let's say you're very popular, whatever the case is, and all of a sudden people are starting to make demands of you, and that popularity is not really a popularity anymore. You don't really enjoy it anymore because you have to sing and dance for people that you don't even know. You have to perform for individuals that you don't really kind of care for, right? Sorry, Libra, but it's coming out like that. Okay. um it's not that you don't care for people, you don't care for human beings. It's just that these individuals who have unrealistic demands, you don't really care about. Okay. So it seems like you may require to put in a little bit of a boundary for yourself where you are the person that is in charge of your own life, leading by example, leading by actions. Okay. Leading by actions. That's the best way, Libra, that you will get any kind of result, is when you carry yourself in a very royal fashion. Okay. A very, and it's not about having your nose up in the air and you're better than everybody else, Libra. It's just that you are classy, you are refined, you are stoic, you have you carry a like a demeanor about yourself that basically screams, I am a confident person, something like that. It's not I am better than you kind of energy. It is a I am here to be a team player, but only to a certain extent. Please don't cross my boundaries. That kind of way. Okay. Let's see the actual clarification for the Queen of Wands here. Let's take a look. It is possible that you could be overstepping some boundaries with other people as well here by being very, very hard-headed or stubborn about something or whatever. That is something to keep in mind, Libra. It's not all about the looks. It can also be about the substance behind the looks. Okay, here. Let's see. 3 of Swords there on the side, and we also have the 3 of Wands, is it? Yes, it is. So you could have taken a hit recently to your confidence levels. That is possible here, Libra. And you're having a little bit of you know trouble, difficulty trying to rebuild yourself, something like that. That is a potential here with that one. So the first thing that I want to say, yes, you're going to be able to regain your composure here. Yes, you will be able to regain your composure. That's not a problem. You could be a little bit worried. Be careful, Libra, about being insecure. That's another one I needed to say. Be careful about having or harboring some kind of insecurity. Be careful about assuming that somebody is in a third party with you. Be careful. These are specific. Make sure that you have evidence before you can just call it like it is and then move forward in your life. Make sure there's evidence, not just because of what it looks like with the Queen of Wands, but because, that's how it truly is. Make sure you don't assume anything. Okay. Um, collect proof. Even if you are harsh on yourself here, Libra, you're talking badly to yourself or something like that. Uh, make sure that it's true. Okay. Make sure that it's true. And if anybody here is talking to you in a downcasting fashion, Make sure that it's true. If it's true, then yeah, change it. If it's completely not true and it's only making you feel worse about yourself, then you don't have to listen. Not everybody knows you like you know yourself, right? Okay. The best thing to keep in mind here for Libra: discovery. Discover the treasures within following your passion, or follow your passion. Um, Yeah, it actually looks like after a little bit a hard time here, or maybe some harsh words from others here, they think that they know you, but they really don't. Whatever that means, that's interesting. You're going to be able to put that card of the Three of Wands in the upright for yourself, where you will be able to finally leave those judgmental opinions behind. So you will be able to do that here, but you're going to have to kind of look at life from a place of, hey, there's still more to see, there's still more to discover, there's still more to me than what these people think that I am. There's a very specific message with this one here. Sometimes people will assume what they want about you, and that's just the way it is. Okay. And no matter what you do, Libra, no matter how many times you try to please them, no matter how many times you try to backbend, it's not enough. And that's okay. That's okay. It just means it's their own thing and that's just who they are. But you are allowed to be your own person. You don't have to follow along someone else's narrative of who you are, right? So you will either you might actually show these individuals, right? You might show these individuals that you are nothing like what they assumed you to be. And that's okay too. That's okay too. Just make sure that you are, operating from a genuine space, authentic, authentic place. That's all it's really asking you to do here, Libra. All right. Scorpio is next. Let's take a look here for Scorpio. Let's see what's going on for Scorpio, please. There we go. Oh, Scorpio. What is happening here? Nine of Swords. Sleepless nights, worries about others, worries about what other people might say about you, worries about outside opinions, potential keys in your back. Scorpio, be careful. Okay. Be careful with this because something's coming in here that is, it's a little stress inducing, actually. It is a little stress inducing. You might already have the stress from this. That is possible. So you're going to have to be very careful in terms of slander. Something about slander. Scorpio, if somebody is slandering you, don't worry about it. Okay, I really don't want you to lose any sleep over this. I really don't want you to lose any sleep over this, Scorpio. Some people, they just, they just assume what they assume and that's it. You may be also a little bit of a Libra Scorpio type of transitional birthday here, but it seems like you're taking on other people's problems onto yourself too much, way too much. Now, here's the thing, Scorpio. If you are voluntarily and knowingly interjecting yourself into people's lives, you're, stressing them out, things of that nature, that's not going to be unseen and unpunished. Just letting you know. Okay. So there is a sense of, honestly, this card for some reason is screaming, mind your own business. Now, I don't know if that's you telling someone this or someone is telling you this, but there is a specific message here of mind your own business is very, 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 very strong. Okay, let me see, clarifier wise, what's going on here. I do see that. Knight of Wands. Yeah. There's some foul play here. Okay, Scorpio, I will be honest about that. There is some foul play here. It is, it's a surrounding of people, or it's just a surrounding in general, an environment here around you that is not reliable. It's not reliable. One day they're your friend, the next day they're your worst enemy. Oh my gosh. Way too flippant. Way too flippant. Okay. So, Scorpio, you're going to have to really identify this and probably distance yourself from this, to be honest with you. Yeah. Distance yourself from it, and that's how you will actually take control of it. Don't allow these people around you to, I mean, really mess up your mind here. Don't allow people to really mess up your mind here. There is a warning, though. Just like it goes for people, it also goes towards you, Scorpio. Don't be somebody's headache. That's not going to go out very well. Okay. That is just an extra. I am not accusing anybody of anything. Okay. Scorpio, I'm not accusing you of anything. That's not what it is. It is a balanced energy exchange in this one. So just be mindful that if some people are causing you some nightmares, some headaches during the night, you are supposed to flighty it. Flighty. Be flighty with it. Don't allow it to worsen your confidence levels about yourself. Don't allow these unreliable people, these game players, actually, with the Knight of Wands, to be bringing you down and trying to knock you off your own horse in life here. Okay. This is very important for you, Scorpio. You tend to be quite a sensitive soul, and just be a little bit careful with who or what you allow to impact you. Okay. What's the best thing to keep in mind for yourself, though? For Scorpio, what is the best thing to keep in mind? Hope is the light in the darkness. Never extinguish it. Exactly. Other people's problems are not yours, by the way. That is very, very specific here. And whatever people might be saying that comes out of envy and jealousy towards you should not be, it shouldn't have a place to talk. Okay, it shouldn't have a place to uh, impact you that greatly, this greatly, where you are, sitting up at night and just questioning who you are as a person. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not good for you. What's good for you is to keep your own inner light shining here and moving forward for yourself. That's what's most important here, Scorpio. Okay. All right, Sagittarius. Let's take a look what's going on here. Alrighty. Three of Cups is lovely. Very lovely. Sagittarius, it seems like you're going to have a celebration of some kind. It seems like you're going to be allowed to enjoy your life. You're going to come into a certain type of event that you will be really, really happy about. Okay? Sagittarius, let's take a look. Clarify this, please. The Three of Cups. No, not really. Clarify the Three of Cups, please. A jumper or a flipper. It would be very lovely. There we go. Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay. It actually came out in reverse on its own here. So this is family matters. So it seems like there has been a problematic thing going on in the family. And I almost feel like I want to tell you that you're going to be able to kind of be set free. Sagittarius, it seems like because this is kind of you know what's the word, crumbling down all around you, that is not a bad thing. I don't get that this is a bad thing. This is supposed to make way for more for a foundation that is more solid for you. Just because your family's falling apart doesn't mean that you don't have a life to discover or a life to enjoy. So, Sagittarius, there is something specific here. Sometimes things in a family dynamic, sometimes they don't work. And other times they do work. But this is not a failure. This is not that you failed in this family. This is about you looking towards other places that bring you joy, bring you hope, bring you peace, bring you happiness, something like this. Yeah, you might have a situation right now, Sagittarius, that it's not working. Like it's not very good. It's not very happy. You might feel a little bit disconnected even from your family members or from from your relationship or whatever this is. But there is a little light at the end of this tunnel, apparently. So I wouldn't lose any trust in the process, or I wouldn't lose any hope for it getting better down the road. I wouldn't do that if I were you. That's more of a negative Nathan or negative Nancy kind of outlook here. And you shouldn't be taking on the mindset of like a victim of your own circumstances here, especially when something you thought was going to turn out great isn't turning out so great. There could be a momentary wedge right now, a momentary wedge in this specific dynamic between yourself and your partner or yourself and your family members. It does feel that way, where it seems a little, yeah, it's a little chaotic here. It really does. It really does. It feels unfulfilling. It feels a little distant. It feels a little stagnant. It feels um pale, like pale. I don't know why I had to say the word pale, but um there is a event. Now it's either happening right now, it recently just happened, or it's going to happen. Sagittarius, there will be a unfortunate event, but it is for the good of all. So there is something going on like that. For some of you, it's a good thing that something did not, it's a good thing that something did not complete. Okay, so for example, right? Um, you were with a person for quite a bit. You guys have been in an on and off situation, whatever the case is, and it just recently fell out completely. You're supposed to thank your lucky stars. You're supposed to thank your blessings from the universe or from God or whoever you believe in, right? That it didn't really pan out. The reason for that is because after a little bit of time of looking at the situation, this back and forth breadcrumbing, whatever, gaslighting, whatever, you're going to figure it out for yourself that it's actually a lot better that it didn't work, because you would have been stuck in that type of cycle for a very long time, and you would have been the one suffering through it in the long run. So here it's almost like it didn't work for the greatest good. It's something like that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Wisdom is your card. Wisdom comes from experience and reflection. Yeah, this did not pan out here, Sagittarius, because there's something that you need to be aware of. And the only way that you are going to come to your own realization is when you do a little bit of reflection, when you do a little bit of assessment here. When you look at why it didn't work out, well, it's not because they didn't like you or anything like that. It's because there could have been actually it could have been as simple as your goals were not matching. Your moral compasses were not really clicking all that well. Your visions were not really the same. uh Expectations could have been way too harsh and way too demanding, and that's where it just fell through. Like, it could be anything. It could be anything that came in here and just completely blew up this whole 10 of cups right sky high. And meanwhile, you're looking at it going away from you, but what you should be doing is you should be having your eyesight on, grounded on the ground, and trying to realize, well, what blew it up? What blew it up? What actually was it that was not actually helping us? And what was it that actually created this turmoil? What really was it? So you may require to do a little bit of reflection in order to have that little light bulb eureka moment for yourself. And at that point, you will also come to the realization of, oh, well, it's because me and them, we didn't work out because it was just too demanding, or it was just too much of unrealistic expectations, or it was that we didn't talk to each other all that much in a transparent fashion. And that's why this whole thing started crumbling at the seams, or unraveling at the seams. Like, there are many other reasons why this didn't work out. It's not a personal attack, Sagittarius. It's not an attack on you. It's a chance during this fallout, during the separation, whatever this is, it's a chance for you to see what the real problem is. And it's not about people. It's not about, oh, it's their fault or it's my fault or whatever. It's about looking at it from a perspective of a third party, looking into this situation and being like, well, I can kind of understand these two people and why they're not doing so well together. But what's the actual disconnect in this whole thing, that this 10 of cups is just upside downy and it's not working? So you may require to put yourself in that position where you're looking at a certain situation from a fresh pair of eyes and really looking at what did not click, what didn't click, and then thank your lucky stars that it didn't click. Thank your lucky stars that it didn't pull through. Sometimes we have disappointments and failures, not because it's against us, but because we're not supposed to be there. It's like you were taken out of the situation. So there's no actual fault here. There's no requirement to be disappointed that you were removed from someone's path or someone was removed from yours. It's just sometimes the energies don't match, the vibrations don't match, the visions don't match. That's all it is. It's not that they're a bad person and you're a bad person, whatever it is. This is no time for pity or self-pity or blame or self-blame. This is a time to look at the situation and why it didn't pan out. And I'm willing to bet this has been a problem for a very long time. It's been an invisible elephant in the room for a very long time. And there's a requirement to look at it for really what it is. Forgive it, make peace with it, and release it, move on. All right, Capricorn, let's take a look here. See what's going on for you, Capricorn. We have the moon. Secrets, uncertainty, being in the dark. Let's take a look. Something that you might be doing to a person or something that a person is doing to you here, Capricorn. We will take a look in terms of what that means. You could be just too harsh on yourself, not giving not giving enough credit to yourself. You could be choosing to feed the dark wolf rather than feeding the light one within yourself. Whatever the case is here, Capricorn, we're going to take a look. Okay, so let's see the clarifier for this. What is a clarifier with this moon, please? What's the moon about here? You could be feeling like you're you could be feeling like you're not good enough for something or about something. Two of Cups in reverse here. It could be that you could be feeling that something's just not working out for you. It could be that you came across an individual who you found out was not actually as genuine as you thought they were. You could have just had a start and stop, Capricorn. You could have actually had a moment where you got to know someone and then there were a lot of hidden motives or rather information that you didn't really know, and you were just like, you know what, no, this doesn't work for me. Son of Wands, yeah, this doesn't work for me. You could be kept in the dark. Somebody could have blocked you. You could have been blocked. You could have blocked them, whatever this is. Okay, but there is a sense of like not enough information, and that's what caused an individual here to to be defensive, or um, some information could have come out to the surface, and that's why you also retreated here. You know, the simplest way of actually saying this is the sheer fact that you know that somebody prefers to keep secrets from you and from other people and all that, that's enough for you to disengage, Capricorn. That's enough for you to say, okay, uh, I can't really deal with a secretive person. I can't deal with a person who makes me live in my head. I can't really deal with a person who's not giving me a true, honest chance. I can't deal with a person who assumes things based on their own past experiences, and that's it. That's it, Capricorn. And at that point, that's the truth, right? That's the truth that came out for you. That's the truth that you were like, you know what? Just enough, just the fact that they're keeping things from me, that's enough. That's enough for me to know that this is not a good venture. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could actually be platonic. You could be in an environment of two-faced individuals, and you are just not going to deal with it. You're not going to deal with it. Seems like Capricorn here, you're not about that. If you are, though, well, that's unfortunate because other people will be blocking you instead, because who you hang out with is who you are. And that's how people will see you. Okay. So if you're worried about, other people misunderstanding you, check into the environment that you have around you and try to see why. Right. Or this could just be you looking at a person and looking at their environment, the people that they keep around them, and you can be like, you know what, maybe that's just not for me. I know that it's not for them, but I need to also consider myself in this whole thing, and I don't want to be in that kind of environment with this person. You really need to look at this from a very realistic perspective, and safety comes first, right? Preservation, safety of self, Capricorn, really needs to be priority for you right now. It seems like it is. It seems like you've deemed someone uh to a degree, you've deemed someone that they're just not on your level in some way, shape, or form. And that's just how you feel about it. And that's it. That's it. You can explain to this person, give them a type of closure or something, but that's it. That's it. It seems like here, Capricorn, you're not dealing with people who are just schemy. You know, they slink away in the night. They keep things from you that makes no sense to keep from you. And you're not into that kind of environment. You're not into that. All right. So let's see what's the best thing to keep in mind while bearing with the situation. I mean, you don't have to release it. Yeah. Release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. Yeah. Seems like if something did come to a halt, if something did become a fallout of some kind, if somebody could have blocked you, the reason for this is because there were too many secrets. Okay, that's the main reason. Whether they kept something from you or you kept keeping something from them, you kept keeping something from, sure, whatever. You know what I mean? Um, you maintained a facade of like mystery or secrecy or whatever, then this person just basically assumed that you were just not honest, you were not trustworthy, and they blocked you, right? You could have done the same thing. You were in a environment with people who were just not really being authentic and genuine with you. And at that point, you said, you know what? I've had enough of this. I don't want to be in a place where people hug me, but then behind my back they have a dagger. I'm not into that kind of, I'm not into that kind of environment or that kind of company. I'm not into that kind of thing. So you outright block them. Uh, it is what it is, Capricorn. Sometimes we just don't match. Sometimes, being in the dark is just not healthy for people. That's it. That's it. Okay. All right, Aquarius. Oh, a little bit of a jumpy type. Nine of Cups. Very good, Aquarius. Be careful. Be careful of too much self-indulgent type of action here. Be careful that you don't become too selfish here. Um, but that's not really, I don't know if that's really you, Aquarius. It could actually be just the person that you're dealing with. Um, be careful of going. Ah, okay. This is a little bit of a warning for you, Aquarius. Upkeeping the party hardy life. Be careful how far you take that. Be careful how far you drink with others. There's a company of drinking here, and you may require to moderate that for yourself or keep that at bay for yourself in order not to fall into the same trap like they are currently in, Aquarius. Be careful. And the trap is called addiction. That is the trap. They think they are in charge of it, but they're actually slaves to it. So just be careful that you don't go the same path. Okay. All right. That was a little bit of a warning. Now, otherwise, we've got some granted wishes over here. We've got some things that are coming into fruition for you, but only when you also keep yourself as a priority. Okay. This part here, Aquarius, is also important. You will require a bit of self-love, self-care in order to come across people who respect that. Okay. And it's not about running around and telling people what to do or running around and having expectations of people and all that. That's not what this is about. This is about uh, carrying yourself in a very mature and wise fashion. This is about making sure that you are also projecting the type of person that you want in your life and who you are as an individual in general here. It's got a lot of surface level image going on here, Aquarius. So you may require to also watch your own as well here in some way, shape, or form. You may require to watch how you present yourself, or you may require to watch your surroundings and what their actions, how their actions bleed onto you, kind of thing. That is specific here too. Give me a second. Let me see what the clarifier for that is. Okay, Aquarius, what is happening with this? Yeah, run away from that, please. Six of Swords. Um, if you are in an environment that overdoes it, that's the best way that I can say it. Honestly, that's the best way I can say it. If you are in an environment that overdoes something, um, whatever this is, you do require to go to more calmer waters for yourself here, Aquarius. It seems like there's a little bit too much of something, and there's no sense of moderation here. There's no sense of, there's a lack of boundaries here with something, and you need to correct it. Either correct it or moderate it or distance yourself away from it or whatever this is. It's like a slight tinge of it's a selfish energy. It is a little bit selfish here. Okay. So by you walking away from a place of, this is bad self-indulgence. This is bad. This is like dependency. This is like addiction. This is bad self-indulgence. Okay. So if you choose to walk away from it, go to calmer waters, you are going to be honoring yourself, which the card of the Nine of Cups is asking you to do. The Nine of Cups is asking you to fulfill yourself. Please fulfill yourself. Don't land in environments that they're not who you are. They mask who you are. Don't pretend to be something you're not just to impress these people. Um, make sure that it also coincides with what you see, make sure that it also coincides how you feel. There's a trap here that I don't like. You may actually you'll dodge it, okay? You will dodge something here, Aquarius, but only when you listen to yourself. It's very specific with that one, okay? Let me see what's going on here, what to keep in mind in this dynamic or in this situation. Grace and prayer. Oh, interesting. So, we've got prayer is a dialogue with the universe, express your wishes. Grace is the universe's blessing, open your heart to receive it. Your wishes will come true, Aquarius, when there is a authentic, genuine humbleness to it, like a humble kind of mindset or a humble way of going after it, something like that. All I'm like literally all I'm hearing with that one card, just like Scorpio had mind your business. This Nine of Cups is just screaming selfish. That's the one word that I'm getting here, selfish. So be careful who you're surrounding yourself with, right? Listen to yourself as well and it's not a selfish thing of you to be listening to yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But when the intentions are to, kind of one up someone or to kick them between the where the sun don't shine or something, then that's not a graceful intention. That's not that's not a humble way of going about things. It's not genuine, it's not authentic. It's if you're doing something, let's say, okay, for example, somebody did you dirty back in the day, okay, for example, they are currently coming back with an apology, and you're triggered and you're basically like, you know what, screw you, it's a no, piss off, and that is already a that's a very selfish type of intention behind that. Instead, you could just say, you know what? I understand. I get what you did, but I'm not into it right now. I'm sorry that I don't trust you anymore. And I hope you do well in your life. That is much different than just saying, well, screw you. No, I'm going to make sure that you regret it. No, 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 no. Like there's two different types of, you know, vibrations with that. And if you're around people like this, where they're like spiteful or vengeful or self-righteous, you need to kind of distance yourself away from that, because you're going to become just as much of a butthole as they are. They will eventually rub off on you, Aquarius. Be careful. Be careful with environments like that. Okay? All right. Lastly, Pisces, what's going on for you? Oh, 10 of coins. Financial matters. That's what's going on for you here. And Two of Cups underneath here. Pisces, you might have a pretty good read overall here with this one. Mostly because there's a renewal in your financial matters. There's a renewal in your stability here. Give me a second. Let me see what's going on with that. There could be even a new relationship coming your way. That is possible. Clarify this 10 of coins, please. Clarifying the 10 of pentacles, please, for Pisces. Please. There we go. You see, there's something going on here. You might feel, you might feel like you're not getting your worth here, Pisces. You might feel like you're not really seeing a fruitful endeavor here, Pisces. You might be a little bit cautious though. Oh, that could be it. That could be it. Okay, Pisces, there's something a little bit interesting here, and it's actually about bringing your past into your present and screwing up your future. Okay, let me really explain that. So whatever happened to you in the past, you're not supposed to be taking these daggers alongside with you in order to bring it into your future. Something happened here that was misaligned, misunderstood, misdeed is what I heard here. So there was a misdeed done to you or something like that. But moving forward, you're not supposed to be taking that past experience um, along, like with you for the ride, kind of thing. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be remembering all these crappy things when diving into something new. It seems like if you are worried about a person screwing you over, a new person screwing you over, just like the last person did, yes, that's what you're going to get. But you're going to get that because you're already assuming it. You're going to get that because you're already calling it in. You're going to get that because you truly haven't healed from the past, you know? So there's a requirement here, Pisces, to really release or let go of what was really unpleasant and unkind, right? You could have done that though, right? You could have been the 10 of swords to someone. Um but you also required to understand that maybe, maybe you did it out of a certain, it wasn't right. So if you still owe an apology to somebody, please do so, right? Please do so. But you know, you're not, is essentially what I'm trying to say is you are not your past anymore, right? The bad things that happened to you, the bad things that you did, whatever the case is here, you need to kind of turn a fresh new leaf for yourself here, Pisces. You can't be a victim of life forever, you know. Uh, there's a part here where, like, everybody deserves a new fresh start, right? I do want to mention that if you have not taken accountability for something, just do so, please. Um, if you need to take some time with yourself, sit down and imagine the person that you are trying to extend your apology to. Just do that. Have a moment with yourself. Send them your genuine apologies, send them your genuine regrets and all that. And acknowledge the remorse there and really heal from it yourself, as well as give it to uh you know send that apology to that person in order for them to also have a new life too. Something like that. If you happen to be the one who put 10 swords in somebody's back, right? If not, then you may require to sit with yourself at one point and just actually accept the closures that people never gave you at one point or another and start a brand new fresh life. You're going from disaster into a pretty good outcome here with the 10 of coins, 10 of pentacles. But the real thing here is, can you move forward? Can you start fresh? Are you able to turn over a new leaf here? It could actually be that a person's coming from the past in order to give you that genuine thing that they didn't previously. Previously, they gave you the 10 of swords. They want to come in and give you the 10 of pentacles now. Um, and you will have to ask yourself genuinely here, Pisces, if you can handle or if you can really give this person a second chance or a third chance, maybe. Um, you will require to go through your own feelings here and really make it a point to acknowledge to yourself whether you can give it a fresh start or not. Insight is the fruit of wisdom. Keep a learning attitude. Yeah. You might be in a place, Pisces, here where either somebody is giving you a chance to prove different about yourself, or you may be contemplating about giving a chance to somebody to prove different about themselves. That is a potential here as well. But there is something about take the teaching of the lesson and not the lesson itself into your future. There's something specific about that. So, for example, what I'm trying to say is um, learn about the different ways of what red flags actually look like, but don't allow these red flags to rule your life, right? It's something like that. Okay? So, that's it. That's all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I will be here tomorrow. We will sit down and we will look through some other things. But here, overall, there was quite a bit to go through. And I wish you the very best of blessings ahead. I hope that things really do work out for you in the greatest of ways. And take a good look at just your environment, right? Overall, here for all signs here. Um, really assess things from a true, genuine perspective, and not what somebody tells you, or not what somebody, plasters onto you or whatever. All right. Have a great one. Take care. Bye bye for now. And until next time.